Hey guys, Jamie here. I want to kick this off and say a massive thank you to you guys that have subscribed. Now the channel has finally started to grow, so thank you so much. It's very much appreciated. And if you haven't done so yet, then hit that bell, hit that subscribe button and get notified when my next videos go up. So this channel is all about keeping it really simple, cooking techniques, easy flavors, flavor packed meals. So if that's your thing you're into, then hit that bell now. So today it's snapper. The snapper came out of the bay this morning and it is super fresh and super delicious. I'm going to put that up with some Asian greens. We've got some spring onions, chilies, lime, coconut sugar, fish sauce, so loads of different flavors going on there that are just going to blend together beautifully. So let's just dive straight in and make this awesome little dish. So to get started, all I'm going to do is make up my dressing. So I've got equal quantities of everything. So I've got a quarter cup of lemon juice, a quarter cup of fish sauce, so that can go in, and a quarter cup of coconut sugar. So this is actually the first time I've used coconut sugar, going with a healthy option. Normally I would use maple syrup or honey. So at the moment we're gonna go with a quarter cup and we're just gonna see how that is. And then on the microplane, I just grated some ginger and garlic. So there's my ginger and a little bit less of the garlic. So that can go in. And then just gonna put that on the stove, and we're literally just gonna bring that up to the boil. So all it's doing is dissolving the sugar. So it probably won't even need to get to the boil, but you just want it so there's no grainy parts in there of the sugar. So as it's heating, just give the pan a swirl, and once that sugar's dissolved, you can turn off the heat and then it's good to go. So once that's done, then I'm going to go in with a little bit of chili. So I'm going to remove the seeds. I don't want any seeds in this one. Go into rounds. And you can just knock those seeds out. If some make it in, then they make it in. But I just don't really want that heat there. These chilies are actually quite mild, so you don't need to worry too much about it. But you can just put those in a bowl. Give that a swirl, and then we can just give that a try and see how it is. And that does need some more sugar because it is super sharp. Just go in with a touch more coconut sugar. It's actually double the amount, so it's a half a cup of coconut sugar. Yeah, that will do it. That's got a nice punch of flavour. So the chilies can go in, and then I'm just going to use a couple of these. And then just super, well, as fine as you can really, just into rounds. The lower part of it can just go in when it's warm, but otherwise with the greens, just leave them until the mixture's cool, because that way they're just gonna stay better shaped, more vibrant, more fresh. You know, if you add them now into that hot liquid, they're gonna cook, they're gonna go soggy, mushy, and turn brown. So we're just gonna slice those through. And then once they're ready, or once the mixture's cool, we can just go straight in with that. So you could even just add it right at the end, just before you're about to serve. So these are lime leaves. I've just got a couple of these, and then just gonna tear them and then roll it up, and then that way it's much easier for when you want to cut it as fine as you can. So exactly the same, just going straight through it, and just you can just smell that freshness already. So that really just does give the whole dish a real bit of lift. So there, you've got it as fine as you can get it. If you've got any big bits, then just pick them out, but they don't matter too much. It's just to give that dish that lift. So that can be added to your spring onions, then can go in at the very end. And then we can just pour that into a bowl. So just grab this one and then just pour that in. So with that coconut sugar, it looks really, really dark. If you use honey or maple syrup, it will be lighter, but that then will just sit and cool, and it's just going to develop and mellow out. So it's got a really, really great flavour. Once it's chilled, the flavour will change. So just give it a try before you put it over your fish. But that is, woo, that has got some punch. Okay, so that is the dressing done. We've got our Asian greens there that we can fry off, and then I've got my snapper. So I've already scored my snapper, you can see here along the little slits. So they're very, very small slits. That's just going to prevent it from curling up when he goes in the pan. So that is the reason why we do it. You just want to use a really, really sharp knife, very small slits, tightly together, and that way when he goes into the pan, he's not just going to curl up. Let's jump into the pan. We can cook him off. We've got our greens to cook off. This will be chilled by then, and then we can just plate it up and have a really, really simple and tasty lunch. Before we do anything with the snapper, I'm just going to season it. I've got some sea salt, and as you season it, drop it from a height so it's evenly distributed over the fish, and just open up those little slits so the salt can just drop in there. So you're just like seasoning it a lot deeper than just putting it on the skin, and this is going to help draw out that moisture in the skin, so you're going to get a crispier skin. And also, it's just gonna, by seasoning it, you're just gonna add more flavour to it. So, pan on the heat. Gonna start with like a high heat just to get some heat in there, and then I'm gonna knock it down. So just gonna turn the heat down and put that on like low to medium heat. And then that's got a decent amount of heat in the pan. And we can get this one on at the same time. I'll put this one on the back actually, so you can see. Oil in the pan, and then I'm just going to place those straight in. They can start cooking already, and we're just going to start with frying those. Because of the root, it's not going to cook all the way through, so that's why I've got the shaoxing, because then that's going to create some steam, and that will get right into the root, and we'll be able to get an even cook on there. This is going to be both are going to be minutes, but that is actually going to take longer than this. This is going to be super, super quick. And just went to grab a little bit of ginger and garlic. So that's 50-50, and that's all I'm going to use. And we're just going to finish that off. I don't want to put it in too early, because it's minced like that, it will just begin to burn before the greens are cooked. So just going to start to get some colour on there, and then once it's got some colour, like a really nice even colour, I'm going to flip them over, add in the ginger and garlic, and then we can just add in the shaoxing, and that will just create the steam and then finish off the cooking. Let's go in with our fish. So always going to cook the fish skin side down, and we lay it in away from us. So if there's any splash, it's going to go in the other direction. And then as you put that in, you're going to give them the first 30 seconds, you're just going to hold them, and they're still going to curl up because that's the natural reaction. So those slits are going to help, but also pushing them down. And these haven't actually curled up too much. So you can just hold them there anyway, the first 30 seconds. Put that on a low heat now. And that is it. So once they've started cooking, then you don't want to touch them. You can just leave them there. And I'm going to be cooking these 90% on the skin side. So it's just the flip, and that last 10% is actually residual heat that's going to cook through anyway. So let's give these a flip. They got a really, really nice colour on now. Grab my shaoxing and sesame oil. That can go in. That's steaming up. Let's put that in the middle, mix it around. We can now put that onto a low heat. It's going to add a little bit more shaoxing. It's not meant to be swimming in it. You want that to evaporate, so it's really just helping it cook. So that's going to finish it off. A touch of sesame oil, and then just giving it a mix around, and that's really, really nice. So if you want to, you can even add some soy sauce in there. But otherwise you can just put over a little bit of salt. So you can use that soy sauce as the seasoning. Okay, so that's off. That heat then will just, in the pan, we'll just keep them going. And these, I haven't touched them at all yet. So we're just gonna have a look on the underside and see how they are. And you can see that is actually starting to get some really, really nice colour on. So put him back down. And we're about 50% cooked there. So you can see where it's cooking up here. This dish is so easy. You can put it with whatever you want, you know. If you've got some rice or a noodle salad, really whatever you want is pretty versatile in what you plate it with. So, or even for lunch, you can just have these two items and that be it. So, or even my coconut rice would be awesome with this. If you haven't seen it, there's a fragrant chicken that is a top dish, but in that video I made a coconut rice. So I'll link that up here. Go check it out, it is fantastic. So these are at about 75%. So we're just gonna leave them carry on cooking, and we're gonna finish our dressing, and then when that's ready, we can just plate it up. Our fish is almost there, so just gonna finish our dressing. So just gonna grab this, put all of that in there, grab a spoon, just give that a mix. And then our fish is almost there. You can see it's probably at about 85%. So now I'm just gonna flip it over. So we can turn that heat off, and then I can just plate this up. So just gonna stick them in there. Boom. And that is it. So the fish is just going to carry on cooking as it goes. So straight down. Gonna put a lime wedge with it. So that can stick in there. Then just spoon that over. So really, really strong, fresh flavours. And this works like if you've got some like whole snappers that you're going to do on the barbecue or whatever, then just make that up, have it on the side, and it is a top little sauce to finish it off. And then literally, just because it's Thai, you've got to have some coriander in there. Just gonna throw that over. So if you want to, you can chop it in there, but I think it's that little bit of garnish, gives it that pop, just makes it really, really easy to finish it off. So boom, that is it. Let's give it a try. Man, it smells good. Crispy skin on the fish. Grab some greens. Yeah, that is fantastic. It definitely gonna put that with some rice next time just to soak up that juice. But it's got great flavour. Really, if you're into your strong, bold flavours, then definitely give this one a go. So if you like this video, smash the bell, hit the subscribe. I'll see you in the next one, and happy cooking, and I'll see you there.